tu ești al câtelea? Tu ești 1, 2, 3, al treilea. În față, da, sigur. Nu, n-am, nu. Asta am, da. Nu, le-am făcut aseară. Da, mergeți. Eu zic, pentru că voi doi sunteți mari, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, hello everybody, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, dear partners and friends. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the BEHEALTH panel dedicated to one of the most transformative topics of our time, aging in place and hospital from home. We are living longer than ever before, but longevity by itself is not the goal. What truly matters is how we live those extra years with autonomy, dignity, connection, and quality of life. Today's discussion touches the very heart of modern healthcare, how to move care closer to people, to their homes, and into their communities. In an age of rapid digital transformation, aging in place is no longer just a social aspiration. It has become a medical, technological, and ethical imperative. It means remaining healthcare as a continuum, one that begins not in the hospital but in our homes, supported by innovation, prevention, and person-centered. As we open today's dialogue, I invite all of us to explore how we can turn this vision into a scalable, sustainable practice, combining clinical excellence, digital innovation, and human compassion. Together we can build an ecosystem where health follows people wherever they live, age, and thrive. Thank you for being part of it, and this inspiring journey, thank you for being with us, and I warmly welcome our speakers and their participants to share their insights, experience, and dreams for a healthier, longer, and more connected life for all generations. The first speaker today, in this wonderful historical building, Ghica Palace, the first speaker today is Dr. Ciprian Cândea. He's the CEO and founder of Ropardo, with over 28 years of experience in software engineering, AI and digital infrastructure. He has participated and coordinated Ropardo across European projects such as Pegaso, Dorian Gray, Comfort Age, actually ongoing, FIT, EDITH, focusing on building interoperable AI-powered platforms for healthcare and research. As entrepreneur, angel investor, and keynote speaker at international IT and health innovation event, he actively promotes collaboration between industry, academia, healthcare providers. His work advances digital transformation, data-driven insights, and resilient research infrastructures across Europe. Ciprian is our colleague and partner in Comfort Age project. I welcome he and his partner, his wife as well, making a good team together. So I'm very proud to have them all here. You have the floor.
Thank
Ciprian.
you. Thank you. So I prepared today a short presentation regarding technology in this domain. So sorry for my animation. So today I will speak as Ropardo, that is a software engineering company in Sibiu, as Luisa already presented. Yeah. So let's. I don't know what I did. Okay. As I introduce, technology is all over the places nowadays, and we are relying more and more on technologies, IT technologies in our approach in nice health and nice aging. Always we are taking in account what the technology can provide today, and we are visioning a little bit what can be a breakthrough for tomorrow. This is very important. For example, of course, we always take data input because we are speaking about the IT technology, we are taking a data input, we are trying to process, and then with these conclusions, we are trying to do some recommendations. So always is the same pattern. But it's very important what kind of technology we can use, in what use cases, in what scenarios. So today I will present few aspects from our experience. It's very important to have in center of our task the person. This is the most important. And here it is a user journey that we draw, I think, 12, 15 years ago. We are adapting a little bit each time when a new technology it's available or when a new technology it's envisioning. So today we have these pictures, or this user journey. The person presents some needs, learning, use, need some help, and need to share experience or whatever. So in the center we have this person, let's say, features. And then we have a lot of technologies. Now, of course, on the bottom we have AI, agents. We are speaking about agentic AI as visioning today. Already AI is present. We are using with computer vision or different other algorithms in products. So it's not anymore a real breakthrough. It is how we use them, how we use this technology. But agentic AI is something that is very, very, or coming very powerful to be used. So it's something that will be for the next years, agentic AI. All the other aspects already are available in different projects or in different products. Ropardo developed this integrated architecture for to support kind of projects or kind of products in different fields of healthcare. In this architecture, again, we developed it iteratively in the last 15 years. In the center, now we have this AI and AI agents and agentic AI. All the other aspects in the left, we have devices. Always we need to collect data. Always we need to interact with some hardware artifacts with the, I don't know, people, the environment where they live, and etc. We have to acquire a lot of data. We have to transform data. And then on the right, we have the feedback that we are, or the technology is providing to the end user. And this feedback could be through different channels like chatbots or tangible interfaces, and etc. So here, a lot of products that or solutions are named after our company, Ropardo, and we have ROHEALTH. There's nothing related with association. This is another picture of the architecture, the IT architectures that I already presented. It is another face of the coin, where we have health professionals that they need data, they need specific tools to understand and to create different scenarios or to test different scenarios and then to provide correct feedback to the patients. Yeah, always we are going to use a mix of components. It's not possible nowadays to use only one component. Many times we are speaking about, for example, the health companion, but if we are speaking about the elderly people, probably the smartphone is not the most appropriate companion. We need different devices. Our producers that design devices for elderly people, like larger phones or larger devices like tablets, and etc. In future, for sure, more and more we are going to use voice, we are going to use computer vision, where our systems will understand from video feed what is happening or what could be the need of that person in a certain moment. Of course, a lot of analysis tools, algorithms, and etc. And I'm almost at the end. I hope that this video is running. I don't know if we can click. I don't know how to play it. I don't know. It's not working. So I prepared a video from that we produces in a European project. I'm sorry if it's basically it's embedded in the presentation. We envision a scenario 10 years ago. We produced the video 5 years ago, but it's still actual. I apologize that it's not working. No. Okay. Sorry. Maybe we have a chance at the end of the session to okay, let's go ahead. So I still have one slide. If you can go ahead, please. Okay. So what we learned in these 15 years of being in the healthcare space with our technologies, together with a lot of partners. It's very important to involve domain experts from the beginning or very early. Many times the tech team consider that they understand the domain. It's false. It's not possible to understand. So if you work early with the domain experts, building up a common understanding like maybe ontology or whatever, it's very helpful. Work in sprints, it's also very, very helpful to get with the experts. The sprints usually are used in the technology projects, but we observe that with healthcare domain experts, it's working perfect too. So then, of course, always understand your user, the user needs, and do not super engineer your tech solution. This is something very, very important. When you speak about the elderly, if we come out with a very complicated, very high-tech solution, is not a KPI for success. Could be a very, very question mark, because probably you are going to fail. So a lot of time, tech team provide a lot of applications, mobile, web, etc., that nobody understands what is what. So keep it simple, go for what the user need, choose your artifact, mobile or web or whatever, and do it. Don't duplicate. Of course, open source is very nice to give it back if it's possible, and never skip the QA and testing. Mm-hmm. And of course, come back and learn. Yeah. So from other perspective here, it's a very technical or little bit technical slide. From technical perspective, from the tech team, always reduce the complexity to jump at the end of the slide. This is very, very important aspect. If you reduce, or the tech team is able to reduce the complexity of the proposed system, also domain experts are better understanding the outcome, and also the patient or the beneficiary. And many times, here it's come also from the domain expert, we are trying to achieve too many scopes. And because of this multi-domain scope, then we have a problem with complexity. Mm-hmm. So this is my presentation for today. This is a conclusion from my side. As a technology partner or a technology provider in healthcare domain, not only for the aging projects, but also for general healthcare applications.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thank you.
I like very much the conclusions and the lesson learned, especially because we have the same opinion, even if we are part of different teams. I mean, we represent the medical team, but you, the tech team. So you're perfectly right. After 25 years probably we have the same opinions related to the new solutions. So I am very happy for that.
Great. So,
okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Ciprian. Can I have the mic is open? The mic is, okay, we have the movie, good.
So this is the project, Nestore, that was funded by European Union. It was like 12 million, I think, fund. And we image, together with our partners, how the technology can be used and what technology can provide for elderly people. And we developed, at that time, so it was 10 years ago, we developed a smartwatch in Europe. That is very interesting. We developed with Italian partner. And we put all together, I mean, software, algorithms, devices, together in a solution, in a nutshell. And this is how we image at that time that the technology can be used. Of course, now after 10 years, it seems very, maybe childish. Okay, this is something that we have, of course. 10 years ago, it was quite new. So we had also an artifact like Alexa or Google now. But at that time, we were able to send advices through this device to the user. Even now, it's quite difficult to do this with actual devices. We had inclusive image recognition for food intake.
Are you ready for your run at 3 p.m.?
Yeah, and a lot of recommendation, but very simple recommendations. If you follow the story, are quite simple recommendation, not too complicated. This is quite important. And the video present, it's 1 minute and 20 seconds, I think. The video present the entire, let's say, in 1 minute, 20 seconds, compressed 24 hours of using the ecosystem, let's say. Of course, it is a very compressed message. Here we were able to, at that time, to understand, now it's easier, but still complicated, to understand what kind of exercise an elderly people could or should do to maintain different KPIs. Like in this case, I'm sure Andrea can explain why, what kind of exercise to do based on health status, what is appropriate for each. So it need to personalize it a bit. It is not possible to do absolutely everything, but our colleague fit very well, so it was able to do any exercise. Yeah, in this scenario we use also cognitive games. I mean, for maintain, let's say, cognitive health, let's say. And I think we still have. Sorry?
And some cognitive dinner.
Yeah, yes. So this is already end of the day.
Does he count again the calories, isn't it?
Yeah, now you can, at that time it was very innovative to take a picture and the AI tell you how many calories are approximately in your dish. At that time it was very innovative. Now it's much easier. So it was a large investment in training an AI model, a network, to recognize from picture what kind of ingredients are and to calculate what are the possible mix of calories. I repeat, 10 years ago it was a challenge. Now it's, let's say, a smaller challenge.
I really enjoyed it.
So, basically a lot of technologies or a lot of tech or procedures we are somehow using maybe today without even realizing. I discussed online with the friends from Cluj-Napoca. He started like a year ago to get slimmer, let's say. He is much younger, he's only 35, but it was quite obese, and he said, okay, I need 1 year I have to push for this. And he started using more or less all the technologies. So sleep monitoring, smart scale for body composition, daily, so it was very aggressive. Understanding how many calories he's intaking in each day. So he used almost all these technologies and this pattern, and he, after 1 year, the AI, the body scale said, okay, you are like 33 years, so you are 35, but you are like 33 years, and it's fit, so 12 months of work. And only 2 days, yeah, and only 2 days per week training, not aggressive training, so
this is great.
So, thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you very much, Ciprian. I think this is one of the best interventions as a preventive tool, because this is about prevention. So we go. If we have, can we find out if you have questions on chat or not? No. Okay. If there is no question right now, I will go forward with the next speaker, Dr. Athos Antoniadis. Athos, are you there? May I say a few words about you? Athos? Kalimera. Athos is a PhD. He's a distinguished leader in bioinformatics and computational biology, driving impactful innovation in healthcare and applied science. As founder and head of research at Stremble Ventures Ltd, he spearheads a dynamic team focused on delivering cutting-edge scientific solutions through a contract research business model, addressing complex challenges with interdisciplinary expertise. Previously, he led the bioinformatics team at the University of Cyprus, eHealth Lab, where he fostered collaborative environments, securing funding for numerous European and national funded projects, contributing significantly to advancement in healthcare informatics and data analytics. His research, supported by GlaxoSmithKline, focused on developing algorithms and platforms for analyzing complex genetic data. He created platforms for multi-omics analytics, advancing drug target discovery and gene pathways understanding. His contributions span leadership roles with various EU national funded projects such as CardioCare, Cyprus Genome, ComfortAge, ongoing right now, being also we are partnering in this project, Myeloma Risk, and showcasing his dedicating to scientific excellence and international collaboration. Athos, you have the floor, and welcome. Welcome here at Giga Palace in Bucharest. Sorry not to have you here physically. 15 minutes, my dear friend.
Thank you very much for having me. I hope you can hear me well. I'm the scientific manager of ComfortAge, a project I have the privilege to work with my Romanian colleagues you just heard from. And I'm going to use this 15 minutes to present the project to you and its core concepts. So ComfortAge is, the title of the project is Fostering Personalized Solutions for Preventions of Dementia and Frailty. There are 39 partners in this project, which is quite a bit, and most EU countries are represented. It's funded under the Silver Deal, called by the European Commission, that focuses on person-centered health and care, focusing on the aging population. And as you can see here, Roberto, Stremble, Anaslan are all partners in this very large and very complicated project. This large consortium was designed to ensure interdisciplinarity across these 4 pillars, with the partners providing critical world-leading expertise in required technologies on clinical aspects, societal, ethical aspects, and of course, technological aspects. Our mission is to provide a new framework for community-based, integrated, and people-centric care that connects clinical needs to researchers, focusing on social and clinical advancement, producing studies that will lead to knowledge, guiding personalized care, with a strong focus on innovation and implementation to ensure findings reach the citizen. The ComfortAge Multidisciplinary Consortium offers a holistic approach that starts with integrating knowledge and data, capitalizing on recent technological and regulatory advancements, such as the AI Act and the European Health Data Space, to build its platform. We focus on research on personalized prevention and intervention through 13 independent pilots that come together, bringing all their data and integrating together through the ComfortAge platform. Outcomes are linked through the platform with enhanced health and digital literacy to maximize the potential impact of the project outcomes. And finally, the project through its 13 pilots will produce real, empirical data that will assess the solutions research, enabling better informed decisions as to which individual will benefit from which solution and at what stage in their lives. To this extent, we implement a digital patient journey that supports us in meeting these ambitious objectives by mapping the pathway that starts with the citizen, that is a health individual, with all their data and ends up with the delivery of social and clinical care, including interventions and prevention interventions. The digital patient journeys were utilized to optimize the architecture design of the ComfortAge platform and to support co-design and co-develop approach throughout the project, where we engage directly with carers, patients, citizens, and all other relevant stakeholders. The human-centric holistic approach of ComfortAge is at its center, and it starts with the key stakeholders: citizens, healthcare professionals, informal caregivers, and social carers. Their needs, risks, and expectations are mapped. Then we move on to identify our possible knowledge repositories and data that either exist retrospectively or can be prospectively collected to provide stakeholders with optimized solutions for themselves. These data are integrated in the ComfortAge virtualized AI-based healthcare platform that deploys advanced AI, strong educational component. It is secure and enables the integration of multiple technologies. The endpoints aimed will provide specific offerings for ComfortAge that help meet the stakeholders' needs, risks, and expectations in a personalized manner with real data collected through the pilots utilized to optimize the delivery of solutions to the citizens of tomorrow to enhance their prevention interventions for dementia and frailty. Finally, the 13 pilots are split into 5 categories. Each category has several institutions that lead their own pilots, with one institution from each category leading the entire category. Scenarios tested in the pilots include 4 clinical trials, several clinical studies, technological offerings being tested, driven through digital innovation hubs, large-scale social multipliers. So why do we need these aging deal projects in the EU? There are 3 aging deal projects: ComfortAge, Smile, and Stage, and we interact between ourselves quite thoroughly. We need to enhance functional ability, well-being, and community participation of our aging population. And by the way, of ourselves as we age. What is the aging population? The day you're born, you start to age, right? So prevention intervention doesn't just start when you already have symptoms of dementia, frailty, and other aging-related disorders, but rather it starts at a very young age. So we need to figure out how to add quality and years to our life. And this is the goal of ComfortAge and the other Silver Deal projects. To achieve this, we acknowledge an opportunity that the aging population is undergoing a massive transformation in our ability to utilize and capitalize on technology. This provides the opportunity to deliver digitalized, person-focused, integrated care and primary health services through technology. The 70-year-old 20 years ago is not the same as the 70-year-old today. The 70-year-old today has had a smartphone or a smart device for the last 10 years. They're able to use it. We can capitalize on this. IoT devices and so forth are not foreign objects to them. They have seen them around and they're able to use them. And in the next 10 years, the 70-year-olds will be having 20, 30 years experience with these devices, and it will be easier to engage with the technology and capitalize on the technology. So it's up to us and other researchers around the world focusing in this domain to deliver these technologies and make it possible for people to stay home longer, care for themselves at home, engage with technology to provide prevention interventions and so forth. The objective of these digital tools are to enhance and foster healthy aging, improving social engagement, and promoting better lives for the older individuals, as well as their families and communities in general. Finally, we need to change how we think, feel, and act towards age and aging. Remember, again, we are all aging, and these are the first generation of tools that our generations will rely on in the future. So let's help create them. And with that, I want to thank you all for inviting me and for hosting this session with all our partners at Comfort Age.
Oh, good.
I'm always quick.
Great. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Very good
Παρακαλώ.
presentation. Thank you. Happy to see you again. Do we have some questions from between us? Hmm? Is there any question? Athos, we have to think about publications. I have to remind you, in an official place like this one, we have to think, because I think we have things to be communicated by publishing, also with your medical partners. Okay.
It's worth noting that we have a total of, if I'm not mistaken, 27 underwriting publications right now in the consortium, with, if I'm not mistaken, again, 6 publications already published. And for a project that just finished its first reporting period, that's quite impressive. I mean, there are projects that finish their entire project and they have 6 high impact journals. We already have them on the first reporting period. We have several partners that are very active, including yourselves. So I'm very happy you mentioned that. I'm very optimistic about the outcomes of this project, not just the scientific, but also making an impact on the clinical setting and on this to the citizens directly by the end of the project, by providing the tools necessary to use them. There's a lot of companies that are focused on making an impact, including myself, including Tremble Ventures, which I represent, as well as Roberto, that you heard from earlier from Cyprian. And I think that's the key outcome of this project and why we will be successful, hopefully. In the end.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's talk for the during the next meeting together with your Romanian pilot. Okay, thank you again. Thank you, and have a nice day. Thank you very much, Athos.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. The next speaker. The next speaker is Dr. Mircea Mârzan, the board member of Anna Asla International Foundation. Dr. Mircea Mârzan is a PhD, is an MD and a PhD in gerontechnology and geroscience, and he has served in leadership and research roles ranging from senior management position in the pharmaceutical industry to European projects focused on active and healthy aging. He actively promotes the use of digital technology in longevity education and contributes to the development of innovative projects in applied neuroscience and stress reduction through evidence-based and modern learning methods. He is a medical professional who integrates healthcare expertise with business management and innovation. Mircea, you have the floor.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. You know, we live in a world where even the fridge can connect with internet. But many older adults still hesitate to use online medical tools or mobile apps. And it shows this is not about only technology, it's mainly about trust and understanding. And that's something we are also working in our organization. In Romania, where the populations over 65 years old is growing rapidly, and but the healthy life expectancy is still below the European averages. We think that this is something which is related not only with the technology but also with the education, and this is how the project Vitalitate 65 Plus was born and developed by the Anna Asla International Foundation from a simple but powerful idea to help older adults to become more confident and informed about, and to become digital knowledgeable in their own health journey. Regarding the health literacy, this is across Europe. Actually, this is a major public health challenge. This is something which basically refers to knowing where to get information, understanding it, and using it. And we've seen in several studies, like the health literacy study from 2015, that almost 1 of 2 adults in Europe is struggling with health literacy. Whereas if we go to the older group, 65 plus, this number raises to 2/3, as it was shown in the German study in 2016. And Romania, unfortunately, ranks last in the EU for digital competencies. These studies were 10 years ago, but unfortunately, even newer studies confirm that digital and health literacy among seniors remain alarmingly low, as you can see in publications done in the last 2 years. And that's here where we want with this project to bridge this gap between technology and trust. This project has as a key objectives to help to increase health literacy among adults 65 plus, and to empower them to use digital tools for prevention and active aging. The main components of these projects are simple educational guides and videos on chronic age-related disorders like cardiovascular, diabetes, and cognitive disorders, offering digital training workshops on teaching older adults to use mobile apps, teleconsultation platforms, or healthcare records systems, bringing awareness campaigns and community events where we encourage older adults and also their caregivers to get more involved in their healthcare status. And to have one platform, we have this platform, vitatateplus.ro, which is a hub which brings together all these informations. This is how it looks as a, let's say, as a representation, and here we have a small movie about what we have been doing until now. If you can put some sound. These are our experts. Yes, and also in the context of this panel, we also consider that our project is relevant for the EU for Health European program, because it supports the 2 main objectives we are covering here: strengthening health systems and enhancing access to healthcare. How it is doing that? By increasing digital and health literacy, we reduce avoidable hospital visits and encourage preventive care. And by offering free and inclusive resources, we improve access for vulnerable or remote population. As outcomes, we are quite ambitious. We want to reach about more than 100,000 seniors in the first phase of the project, which should be by the end of next year. We hope to see about a 20% increase in preventive health knowledge, and a somewhat smaller rise in the participation, because we always know that knowledge is one thing, but putting it in practice is a bit more difficult and more challenging. Also, we think that this project well aligns with the home in place, with the hospice from home, aging in place concept, because digital health succeeds only when people know and trust how to use it. And we believe that education transforms older adults from passive recipients to active participants. And how we used to say, I think, in our organization is that technology empowers, but education activates. We believe also that this project has potential for impact and scalability because it's a modular methodology which can be replicable for other EU contexts and countries which may face similar challenges from the perspective of demographics and educational level. It can be adapted for individual community programs, and of course it strengthens preventive care and reduces system pressure. Like I said, by combining the digital tools and the behavioral education, this extends healthy life expectancy. As a closing message, I would like to think that the future of health begins with the education of today. That health aging means living better, informed, connected, and autonomous lives, and that every educated senior becomes an ambassador of health, and every informed community a stronger health system. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. This is our first social project, and I'm proud of it, but it's a lot of work to be done in. But without education, there is no progress. So we have to begin with the ABC of education related to the older adults. So it's a long way too, but it's a good start. Thank you so much, Mircea. Thank you very much. Congratulations for this, and let's hope we can bring more money for this and to finalize the guidelines, because we have only 2 until now, only 2 out of 5, in fact. Thank you. The next lady speaker here in the group. No, there are 2. There are 2. One of the last one is on remote. So Dr. Andrea Stamate is distinguished researcher in human cognitive neuroscience with a focus on forgetting, cognitive aging, and dementia. She holds a PhD in experimental psychology and cognitive neuroscience from University of Edinburgh, and she has been working at the Anna Aslan International Foundation for over 5 years, contributing to international research and innovative projects aimed at enhancing the quality of life and autonomy of older adults and individuals living with dementia. So she is our dear colleague, so you have the floor, Andrea.
Thank you. So we all know how dissemination works, meaning I'm going to say just enough to feel productive, but not enough to change the field yet. This is one of our latest projects, and I focus on the yet because I think it has great potential. I want to thank Ciprian for his video. I'm particularly grateful that worked and we were able to watch it, as it's very much linked, and we didn't talk about this, to what I want to talk about today. Emma Frailty basically will be using similar technology to the one showcased in Ciprian's video, but with a different focus. We focus here on assessing frailty in an ecological way, as the tech team likes to put it. Short description of the project. The duration will be 36 months. We started this year in April. We have a budget of over 1.5 million. It's funded under the European Partnership on Transforming Health and Care Systems, and it's a joint transnational call. The project will leverage on AL systems and ecological momentary assessment to enable early detection, personalized intervention, and improved quality of life for older adults. Frailty. For those of you who aren't aware, frailty is an important topic in medical research at the moment. It's a complex condition in older adults, marked by increased vulnerability on stressors and elevated risk of falls, disability, hospitalization, and death. It is common, especially among those with comorbidities, and shaped by personal, social, and environmental factors. Current gaps. Traditional episodic assessments often miss early signs. What I mean by this? We typically see patients on occasion in a clinic, but changes are subtle and constant. We want to enable practitioners to follow through with their patients even when they don't see them at the clinic. Typically, we base evaluations on self-reports. These are often unreliable because many of the patients who struggle with frailty also have cognitive issues and memory biases. There also is a clear need for continuous real-world monitoring, like the one we saw in Ciprian's video. We want to see how active users are, not how active they report they are, because typically there are differences in how we see ourselves and what we actually do. And this is something everyone does, not just at old age. So the aim of this project is to enable early, personalized interventions for frailty using real-time data. We have several objectives. We want to integrate AL systems and use them to monitor older adults in their house, while they exercise, while they're doing their typical activities. We're going to use these to hopefully detect frailty sooner than we would normally do in a clinic. Imagine we're using the devices Ciprian showcased to monitor people at home. A traditional test in frailty would be to see how fast an older adult could walk over a 4-meter corridor, or the chair stand test that was also showcased in the video to just see how fast they can get off a chair. These are things we measure in a clinic, but they are also things we can measure with devices, and this is what we want to do. I'm going to skip the legal compliance because obviously at these levels in European projects we all do this. I just want to focus in this presentation on the attributes that technology can bring to assessing and monitoring frailty. Our methodology, as Ciprian mentioned, it's always international consortia, it's always interdisciplinary teams. We bring together engineering, gerontology, healthcare, ethics, law, social sciences. We try to collaborate to get the best we can out of each partner. We're going to start collecting data early next year. Our tech partners are still working on figuring out what's the best technology to be able to replicate what we use in the clinic. Some things are easy to do, others might prove difficult. And I will give you a challenge, I will mention a challenge that we will face as end users when trying to collect volunteers for this project. I mentioned the 4-meter walk. I need participants that have a corridor that's 4 meters long. That won't be easy to find. And if you know anyone, please come talk to me. Theoretical and scientific foundations. Ecological model of frailty. It's influenced by individual, social, environmental, and policy factors. Housing, neighborhood, and support networks are key to aging in place. Continuous monitoring, AL systems support and will support early detection, adherence, and independence. Monitoring tech slows frailty progression. This is already shown in the literature. Machine learning can accurately detect frailty and risk factors, again, already shown in the literature. And machine learning will enable scalable and proactive interventions. We want to see in our project if, with machine learning and all the environment that we're using, we could potentially flag participants earlier than they would normally be flagged within the healthcare system. Expected impact. Early detection, I've said this 1,000 times. This is the main point, and we want to do it as soon, we want to catch people in any illness as soon as we can before the disease progresses too much. This will obviously enable independence and reduce hospitalizations. The solutions will be personalized. We will monitor them real time, and we will always collect feedback. If this works, and we hope it does, it should cut healthcare costs by avoiding acute care and institutionalization. It will enable scalable and sustainable aging models. It will inform evidence-based policies and digital health standards and advance our understanding on frailty in a dynamic environment which we currently lack. Conclusion. EMMA aims to advance frailty management through the integration of innovative technologies, interdisciplinary collaboration, and meaningful stakeholder engagement. Grounded in current scientific evidence, the project seeks to generate actionable insight and contribute to improved outcomes for older adults, as well as enhanced support for healthcare systems and communities. Thank you so much for your time and your attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you very much. A few words. I'm very proud of it because this project came after the cost action Good Brother that I coordinated for Romania, and we had such a good we developed such good working teams with Francisco Flores Revuelta, so it came naturally after that. So it's on the same specialty. I mean, our focus, which is on frailty and cognitive frailty, physical and cognitive as well. So good luck with the project. Thank you so much. So we go on. Dr. Răzvan Prașcu, our dear colleague as well, is a graduate of the University of Medicine and Pharmacy Carol Davila with a background of over 15 years in family medicine as a senior specialist, isn't it? Expanded his clinical skills with sonography and life support competencies, holds a master's degree in public health management, and currently pursues a second specialization in geriatrics and gerontology, while also investigating applied gerontechnology technostressors as a doctoral researcher of the University of Medicine and Pharmacy Carol Davila. He is passionate about IT&C. He turned his own home into a smart living lab. Trust me, experimenting first-hand benefits of and inconvenience of EOT. He's been an important part of our organization, the ANASA International Foundation core research team, currently involved in the Comfort Age Horizon project. Răzvan, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Professor Spiru. As a preamble to my presentation, I do trust this prestigious event set up by ROHEALTH, the Romanian Health and Bioeconomic Cluster. With your permission, I would like to follow up today on technostress, a topic I've already introduced in the previous edition of BEHEALTH. The current definition of technostress derives from the WHO definition, a negative psychological relationship triggered by the introduction and use of new technologies, like the ones that were mentioned in all the projects presented just before me. Craig Broad first defined technostress in 1984 as a modern adaptation disorder triggered by the inability to cope with new IT&C in a healthy manner. Rosen and Weil later defined the definition, outlining the negative impact on attitudes, thoughts, and behavior. A milestone in understanding technostress was the research initiated as late as 2007 by Moni Depa, further developed by Ragu. That time, technostress seemed to affect less women as compared to men, older adults as compared to youth, and advanced IT&C users versus less skilled. One idea to remember is that we should never confuse technostress with technophobia, nor with techno-addiction. Understanding technostress starts from understanding the individual differences. However, organizational characteristics and societal perceptions on things also play a key role. I will exemplify here with just the worldwide reaction at the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution, when everyone was afraid that they would lose their jobs, rings any bells, or by the local reaction when it was decided to pay retirement funds via debit cards in a cash-only society. What does technostress trigger in us? It obviously depends on susceptibilities and specific traits of each one of us. It may, however, induce physical, emotional, cognitive, and behavioral changes. One of my previous slides suggested that older adults are less affected by technostress. But are they really? The initial psychometric tools assessed 5 domains, but those were not entirely relevant for older adults. Overload? No thanks, I'm retired. Uncertainty? Oh, never mind that, my nephew's gonna help me transfer all the contacts from the old phone into the new one. Insecurity? Oh wait, did you already forget I'm retired? I can't lose my job. There are hence notable particularities in older aged adults. Overload rather refers to I'm finding it harder to use this phone, so it takes me longer to do X task. Uncertainty in older adults rather refers to the lack of inclusion into the digital universe, to the digital gap possibly making them misfits. While insecurity in old age rather dives into their vulnerability to possibly having their digital ID traced or, heaven forbid, exploited by third parties. Although these changes seem obvious now, this triggered the development of new psychometric tools much needed to identify and quantify technostressors with older adults. This led to improved understanding of dimensions and contexts in case of older adults. And the pioneer in old age technostress was Professor Nimrod, who a couple of years ago validated and published adapted tools for old age technostress assessment, which tools I'm proud to be testing and validating for Romania as part of my PhD studies under the supervision of Professor Spiru, moderating today's panel, and in close contact with Professor Nimrod, the original author. This is just a quick recap of my study design with regulatory and ethical compliance in mind. Of course, as you see, localized adaptation of a psychometric test is not as simple as just translating it into a different language, as mere translation may lose or alter subtleties embedded into the original tool. Inclusion and exclusion criteria considered age, gender distribution, mental health. The data collected was related to general characterization of the population, prior technology usage, and brief medical information. The focus was to ensure proper validation for localized scale, for perceived stress and technostress assessment. Following the ethical approval of the validation study, the questionnaires were sent to an initial pilot consisting of volunteers involved in previous projects. The initial questionnaire was a bit more complex and investigated all variables as well as both tools to be validated, as well as some qualitative items meant to assess their perception on said tools. A simplified questionnaire was provided for retesting. All answers, test and retest, were centralized, matched based on personal identifier, hence the need to collect certain personal data at this point, like the birth year, the full name, the email, and the telephone number. The pilot ran in April this year and reached 33 participants quite fast, with a mean age of 72 years, gender balanced and with similar urban versus rural distribution. A lesser share lived alone. Most define themselves as professionally inactive, just 15% of them still active and working. Education-wide, the study group are also balanced, 1/3 school only, 2/3 high school, and the last third, of course, university or postgraduate studies. About 1/3 reported low incomes. Half of them reported average income, 4 refused to answer the question about income. Most use mobile devices, which validated the choice of MDPQ for digital self-assessment, MDPQ being the Mobile Device Proficiency Questionnaire. Most often, internet was used for following news, for communication, for researching their hobbies, and for relaxation, meaning streaming services. Most of them non-smokers and avoid alcohol. The MOCA scores, available for 24 of 33 participants, confirmed there was no cognitive decline. For the qualitative analysis, there was just one outlier which actually had no difficulties in understanding and no suggesting suggestions for improving, which is highly suggestive of accidentally ticking the wrong check mark. The only suggestion for improvement came from a different participant and was actually not related to research topic, the validation of the two tools, but rather relevant to market research. He was suggesting, for instance, to investigate which device is used for streaming or online transaction, etc. That was, of course, ignored. Results otherwise point to clear formulation without any difficulties encountered when filling in the questionnaires. Items did reflect personal experiences, and participants felt there's no need to improve or change any of the items. Having matched test-retest responses, the time interval was in line with current methodology, and Pearson's coefficients showed good temporal stability. Internal consistency was tested and demonstrated via Cronbach alpha for both scales, resulting in a slightly decreased but nevertheless acceptable result for the perceived stress scale based on just 4 items. I was, of course, curious to test for validity, even though fully aware of the insufficient sample size for the technostress scale. However, BSS-4 is already proven as valid. Bear in mind, literature suggests only 5 to 10 responders are enough for 1 item, while the PSS scale only had 4 items. The technostress validity results are, as expected, for now contradictory, with just 4 out of 5 domains being correctly identified. However, a validity check will be reassessed for both after increasing the respondents' number based on the simplify, aka retest version of the scale. They say one picture is worth 1,000 words. And I love this picture as it helps us keep in mind that we can act at 2 levers. The stressors, represented by the ball, and the stressee, our brain. Understanding technostressors will for sure open new pathways for reducing digital gap, for reducing the negative effect it may hold on older adults, and for improving the adoption of technologies. Building up on one of the conclusions of Seifert's systematic review, we need to be able to profile older adults' technostressors. Starting from there, we can personalize stress management strategies. We can improve the guidelines for designing old age-friendly IT&C tools, as current ones are somewhat limited, single-faceted, targeting, for example, just poor eyesight alone. This will enable us to understand where does the low acceptance rate of technologies or wearables stems from. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Before I leave the floor, I'm happy to further elaborate in case there are any questions.
Thank you. Good. Congratulations, Razvan. I'm very proud to that Karol Davila University of Medicine and Pharmacy has the first PhD research and work related to technostress. So under my coordination, and Razvan chose this particular subject, and it's a very challenging one. I am very curious, and I would very much love to work on younger population as well. But our focus is related now to older adults, and I think this is also a very, very challenging subject for all of us, for us as well, because we are getting old, all of us. Thank you again. Some questions from the floor? Do you have? Yes. At the end. At the end. Okay. Okay. So we go further with Daniela Blecher. She's the manager of Arms for Elderly, an international project for remote monitoring and hospitalization at home, promoting optimal aging and independent living. She has extensive experience in the field of special populations, geriatrics, and social technological innovation. An expert in public health with a focus on health promotion, risk prevention, and improving the quality of life for aging population. In addition, she serves as a quality manager in the welfare and healthcare sectors, leading processes and excellence and innovation across hospital and community settings. Daniela, are you here with us?
Yes, of course I'm here.
Welcome, Daniela.
Thank you.
Welcome here Gika Palace in Bucharest. Sorry not to have you here.
I wish I was with you. It looks great, and thank you for having me. I hope you saved power for the last presentation. I believe that I'm the last one, right?
Yes, yes, indeed. Okay, 15 minutes are yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So let me start by saying that it's a great honor to participate in the professional conference. It looks great. And I would like to share our joint work and vision. You already introduced me, so I will not say much. I will just tell you that I'm presenting Asuta Ashdod, which is a leading public hospital that combines advanced clinical care with research and innovation. The hospital division of innovation and medical entrepreneurship, headed by Dr. Gil Levy, which unfortunately couldn't be here today, connects expertise from the community and the hospital, and also leading the Arms for Elderly project in Israel, which I am pleased to present today. So first of all, let me tell you that I want to thank the consortium and our partners, OUH from Denmark, ROHEALTH, and thank you for having us, Romania, Net Medicar, Italy, and Morse Country Clinical Hospital here in Romania. This strong network of hospitals, research institutions, and health technology organization ensures that Arms for Elderly combines clinical validity, scientific, and real-world applicability. It's very important. So let me start by introducing Arms for Elderly. Arms for Elderly is advanced remote medical services for elderly population. It is a European pilot project that provides hospital-level medical care for elderly people in nursing homes and community facilities through remote care technologies and structured clinical protocols. The project brings together partners from Israel, Romania, Italy, and Denmark, as I said, creating a diverse consortium that reflects the different healthcare systems and the needs of elderly population across Europe, which is very different. This diversity strengthens the model and ensures that we can adapt a wide range of care environments while maintaining clinical excellence and safety all around the countries. The challenges that we address across Europe and of course in Israel is healthcare systems that are facing some major challenges right now, such as shortage of hospital beds, growing life expectancy, overload on medical staff, and rising healthcare costs. Older adults are often hospitalized unnecessarily, and which may cause loss of function, infection risk, and emotional stress. Arms for Elderly tackles these challenges by creating a remote care model that allows elderly residents to be treated in familiar surroundings while remaining under direct hospital supervision through continuous communication and monitoring by the hospital and the place that they are already in. Our mission and rationality is that Arms for Elderly is designed and implemented as a comprehensive evidence-based model of remote medical care for older adults, which means that it includes development of clinical protocols and triage criteria, deployment of telemedicine and remote monitoring technologies, strengthening collaboration between hospital, nursing homes, and caregivers. The ultimate goal that we have is to ensure continuity of care, patient safety, and personalized treatment in order to reduce the need for hospital admissions, which of course we all don't want unless it is needed. Let me tell you a little bit about here in Israel. Here in Israel, the model is implemented through collaboration between Asuta Ashdod University Hospital and nursing home in Ashdod, which called Bet Hadar. When a patient condition changes, the nursing home team connects with the hospital through a secure telehealth platform that we have. The hospital's dedicated team, which review the data, consult on real time, and decides whether the treatment can continue remotely or whether the hospital has to make admission which is necessary. This system allows faster clinical decision, ensures continuity of care, and significantly reduces necessary hospitalization. I know that I don't have a lot of time, so I will run with it. You can see here the way that we are working in order to reduce the hospitalization, to improve recovery rates, quality of life, to get to higher satisfaction among patients, caregiver, and clinical staff, and of course to lower the healthcare costs and optimize use of resources. All of these are expected outcomes out of Arms of Elderly, which is supposed to be finished by August 2026. The project demonstrates that technology and framework can together deliver better outcomes for both patients and healthcare systems. As you can see right here, it's not only the person himself, but also the system efficiency altogether. Now, I would like to introduce another very special project that we have here in Israel. It was born after Arms for Elderly, when we understood the community importance working with the hospital as ecosystem. In Israel, it's a very innovative supporting initiative for the healthy aging. And I would like to introduce you, first of all, to my colleague, which is here with us, Nessia Strausberg, from Southern ROHEALTH-Cluster. Nessia, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, this is fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I will tell you a little bit about this interesting project in 2 words. Of course, it's jointly by Asuta Ashdod University Hospital and the Southern ROHEALTH-Cluster in Israel, which is a big area, and also founded by National Insurance Institute Nursing Funds, which are a big institute in Israel working with the government, which means that we are on our path to bring it into every hospital and every elderly person in Israel. And it's great news. The purpose of the project is to promote and maintain healthy aging within the community while strengthening the connection between healthcare system and social care framework. The initiative introduces accessible, easy-to-use digital tools that supports daycare centers for older adults, enabling monitoring, personalized guidance, and well-being promotion. This model reflects Israel's commitment to dignified independence and connected aging, using technology not to replace human care, but to enhance it. I will not show you the movie because we don't have time. I just want to say that we are plug-in option based for the personal record data in the hospital, which is great and brings accessibility, rehabilitation, database recommendation, daily task reminders, and so on. I will show you this 10-second movies.
Early users manage their medications. Oh, I can't seem to remember how the doctor prescribed these pills.
No worries, dear. Here's what you need to do.
The assistant breaks down tasks into easy-to-understand steps, giving clear, concise instructions.
I will also personally remind you daily to take your pills, ensuring you stay on track.
Oh, thanks. That would be really helpful.
Okay, sorry. Of course, all of us, I believe we are, and you, all of you, want to make it a better world and to be with the elderly every step of the way. And I will finish by saying thank you very much for your attention and for the professional collaboration that brings such meaningful innovation to life. I will be very happy to answer any more question, clarification. You have my email right here, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniela. Thank you very much. As far as I understand, thank you very much for your contribution. Again, we are very happy to have you here. As far as I remember, last year it was Professor Gil Levy who spoke about the project, isn't it?
Yes, you remember fine, and it was new, but right now we are in the middle of it, and it's going great.
Good, and I'm very happy that ROHEALTH is partner here. Congratulations again, Flaviana, and it's very, very interesting. Anyway, thank you so much. Now it's time for questions. Now it's time for questions. If we have questions from the audience. Is there any question? Yes. Please.
My question is how we can really transform this concept, how we can put it in practice, because we know there are a lot of pathologies and so on, and I think these solutions are not working for all the pathologies.
It's true.
So my question is, until now, from your knowledge, there is a study carried out where this kind of pathologies were identified, for example, to change the concept to hospitals from home, because now in Romania we have a big problem with the aging population, but we don't have enough services for social services, for example, and people don't have access, mostly in rural areas, to this kind of services. If you need to change, I don't know, to take a pill or to have some support in pansament, changing your breast, I don't how is pansament the word?
Pansament, dressing.
Dressing.
Yeah.
In rural area, you don't find people, social persons, caregivers, available to come, for example. Okay, they are in the urban area, but if you are 20 or 30 kilometers away from the urban area, you can't find this kind of services. And my question is, okay, how we can transform this concept or put this concept in practice?
On my humble opinion, beginning with education, with this is what we presented, and it's only one flower in a huge garden. So please try to answer. You are the panelists. You are the panelists. So please try to answer to this question. Thank you. Thank you, Madalina.
Yes, if I may, you just talked about education. Actually, I mean, we talk about hospitals, but the feeling is, I mean, we want to move things towards prevention, and that's what we can do for education. Your specific challenge, it's very real, unfortunately, but I have to tell you, we have this kind of challenges, I think, also in urban areas. It's not limited. It's much more stronger and much more obvious in the rural areas, and I believe there should be some public policies and things done at a strategic level to address this kind of solutions. And this is a constant challenge, not only in Romania, but for us, let's say it affects directly about this involvement of key stakeholders. That's a thing we discuss in many projects to try to identify who has to intervene from which direction. And unfortunately, the political and the regulator part, it's always not that involved as it should be. So we try to do from our side, but you have some limitations. We think that, like we said, with technology, we can really penetrate, let's say, to a deeper level, to a large extent. And now we are even considering, for let's say kind of a colloquial example, we are considering to use this kind of TikTok applications. Even people in the countryside, most of them have this kind of things, to use them for educational purpose. So we try to find ways to reach as much as possible with technology. Of course, when you don't have basic literacy or digital literacy, then you have a challenge which is difficult to.
I would like to draw attention on a couple of issues I noticed as a general practitioner. Starting from the way the healthcare system is funded, they tend to reimburse more curative services instead of preventive services. This meant, of course, we are nowadays diagnosing better and more than we did, say, 100 years before, but we are preventing less. This kind of shifts everything towards the hospital, towards specialized care. And what all or most of these projects try to do is to focus on what happens at homes. This kind of compensates for the lack of information. If you're a specialist working in a hospital, you see a patient, you see a sick person at some point, and you get a snapshot of his or her medical status. But that's just for one time point. And you're lacking a lot of background, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information about what happened in the past. If we are successful in implementing projects such as Frailty, such as Comfort Age, such as any one of the projects that were mentioned or referred to in earlier presentations, you gain a huge amount of information in a sort of a systemized way, and you can access as a clinician when you get to see that person at a specific point in time. So covering the background, you can better understand the disease, the condition, the possible correlations with other diseases, because it's highly unlikely that an older adult has just one disease. There's 2, 5, 10 of them.
Yeah.
So this kind of data, having this kind of data available.
But Razvan, we go back to the relationship between the older adults, and the family and the general practitioner, and the accent has to be much more important on prevention. We have now 2 national projects related to that, okay? Even us as a very highly specialized center are allowed to make prevention. But this is again a matter of a good communication and education between the MD and the patient.
Of course. It's a matter of communication, but I just wanted to point out it's also, it doesn't matter how many sporadic initiatives we have, it has to become a system-wide approach, boosting prevention, a proper reimbursement system for prevention. Because if that's done, it will happen nationwide, it will happen EU-wide. And of course, in order to prevent, you have to know what to prevent. What's the patient at risk for?
Yeah.
What should I best teach him?
Lifestyle. Because each of us, we have different risk factors, so lifestyle is in the hand of the GP at the first hand to educate his patient in order to work to adapt his lifestyles to his own risk or her risk conditions, and everything begins with prevention. This is why we are speaking and we're testing solutions, innovative solutions for developing this concept of aging in place. Because all of us, I'm sure that everybody being here is willing to get older in its own place. Yeah, please. Okay.
Innovative solutions. So at the end of the project, how you will scale up these solutions, because you just demonstrate during the project lifetime that your solution works, but how can these solutions be scaled up and maybe transferred in a public policy or to be used in a program now for elderly people and so on. How do you see this further? You know, how we can go with our solution
to create ecosystems, smart ecosystems with different actors, to be important actors,
and to really work. Because okay, we have a lot of projects. We have a lot of solutions at the end of these projects, but how we can put them in place, you know, to be used by the people, by the state, and so on. Do you have this kind of things in your mind when you write a project proposal or for sustainability of the project?
I'll take the floor if I may.
Yeah.
First of all, we are trying to test if the solution works. Nobody knows when a proposal is drafted if it will work. It always starts with a research question. But of course, when designing a project, when writing a proposal, you have to consider sustainability. And this is where the whole campaign of dissemination and communication comes in, because you have to raise awareness. We are trying to do this. This, if it works, could hold the answer to your problem. You being the stakeholder being governmental agencies which may actually change policies nationwide. The healthcare companies, the insurance companies, the policymakers, all the stakeholders involved. The initial thought is we try and test if it works. If it works, there is of course some sort of a sustainability plan which is developed as part of most, if not all, projects I know. Of course, some are just theoretical and some are more practical, but this comes in the end to the people who actually work in the project, and of course the outcomes of the research being done.
To be honest, just give you a practical example. Daniela, would you like to say something?
Yes, if it's possible, just
Yes, please.
First of all, I have to say hello to Madalena. It's great to see you, and thank you for our wonderful collaboration. We are having great workspace with you and all the partners, but thank you for having us today. And for your question, I think it's very important to work with the Ministry of Health. I can tell you that here in Israel, we are working on the infrastructure along the way. As long as the project is alive, it's supposed to bring a new future for elderly in Israel. And we are working all the time on policies to make it happen. Otherwise, it doesn't worth anything. We will not be able to move along, but we are on the right way.
Yeah, it's true. You have a very strong system, especially nursing homes. I know it very well, so I really had a lot to learn from your social and healthcare system, and related to the older population. But what
it's important for us to respect and take care of our elderly people in Israel. It's one of the most important things in Israel. So we have to do everything that we can in order to bring it on.
Yes, this is a real tradition, and you respect it. We respect it also, but our politicians remind about respecting this tradition idea only when they have their own elderlies being ill or being in need for our services. But what we do, just to answer you with a practical example, everything we find out that it's working in this innovative projects the last 20 years, we try to apply in our clinical practice, even if it's public or private. For example, working with Andrea in Fragile project, we test in Romania the SQUEG, which is it is the modern dynamometer which measures the grip strength, which is essential for detecting frailty. So we use it in our facilities, in private, everything is new and it works in our facilities, we do it. All our observational files don't look like the other hospitals. I have the chance to coordinate an academic department, so I can move things if I believe and I test them in our European projects. And all our files, patients' files, are completely different from the other institutions because they come with scales which are validated during the European projects, during our observational study research, and we do it, I repeat, in private and in public. In private, of course, they are more elaborated because this is a different framework with different access to national and international networks for using biomarkers. But even like this, at our level, we do as much as we can. This is, I think, is a practical example. Of course, we don't have your social, let's say, national politic and rules in order to implement all the projects that we are studying for the last 20 years. But step by step, Flaviana knows me, and she's also like a train. She's also. I think that strong women can move things, if it's possible. But it's very much depending on what we want to and what we are determined to do. I mean, we care a lot about the elderly. I do geriatrics. I'm the moderator of this session. I'm a professor of gerontology, geriatrics, old age psychiatry, and longevity sciences. So I really love what I do. It's a vocational. So if you love what you do, you are in, and you can try to determine the changes and to develop new ecosystems. Yes, Razvan. Thank you very much, Daniela, again.
Daniela's story just reminded me of a particular situation that sometimes happens. All these projects are international, so you have multiple partners in the consortium from different countries. One of the projects that recently ended was not very well received by the Romanian national authorities. The whole idea of collecting multiple data, big data from various wearables and devices from participants' homes was not very well received here, but it was very enthusiastically received in Madeira, because that's a smaller community with a certain amount of autonomy, although it's part of the Portuguese healthcare system. And not only that they tested, they also adopted the technologies which were developed as part of the project.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do have success stories, just not where we try to. We tried and tested in Romania, but it became a success story in Madeira. But this is scientific progress. Maybe at some point the Romanian authorities will try and steal the idea from the Portuguese guys, from the Madeira guys.
And every step forward is a good one. So let's, yeah, this is good. Anyway, thank you so much. Do we have some other questions? No?
From the online audience, may I address?
Yes, please do that. Yes, please.
Here is a question for Mr. Ciprian Candea. What do you think is the biggest obstacle to using technology for home healthcare?
Thank you. Somehow it's the question comes in a very good moment because of our topic that Razvan and Luisa already addressed it. The biggest obstacle, in our opinion, and it is a limited opinion at the end, is the fact that the state, in different forms, the government or the local healthcare providers, are not willing to understand that they are the biggest players in the market. In Europe, in entire Europe, state or local governments are the biggest players. And are very positive examples like in Madeira, or if we go in different parts of Spain, where, you know, they have the Madrid government, and then they have these regions that they somehow manage by themselves the healthcare systems, autonomous region. But they understand in different parts of Spain, they understand that they are the biggest player. They have to push on the market, let's say, different solutions or technologies. If we have this understanding, also in Romania now to come back, but in the entire Europe is more or less the same situation. The government or the public bodies are coming and saying, no, you have to go in the private. No, the private sector has only one aim, to optimize the capital. Sorry to say it, but this is everywhere in the world. Optimize the capital. So if in the private, if I spend €1, I have to multiply the revenue or the benefit with millions. I don't know, infinite. This is the scope of the private. We are stealing our head in Europe thinking differently. All the regions, we don't have in Europe any country that the government, the central government, to understand the role that they are the biggest player. They have to put on the market different technologies. They have to push on the market this. And capital will follow. But the capital never do a breakthrough in this domain. Never. And we can look at the last 100 years. Always when a big invention, insulin or whatever, was always funded by government or sort of government money, and at a certain point comes the capital, and the capital say, okay, I can optimize with a very big rate, 1 to 1 million, so I invest, but not before. So central government, local bodies of organization or authorities, they have to take these outcomes. They have to be aware of the outcomes. They have to participate in this kind of debates. They have to be aware of their status and not to run. If you go to approach a state and say, look, we have this, no, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to meet you. Not at all. Don't come here. Go out. It's very powerful, this, because we have the expectation that the private capital should do the innovation in this stage. No, it's false. I always work with private capital, yeah, the entire life. I can tell you, I will, of course, never invest in the project with a high risk to lose money. This is the dream. We all dream about this. Nobody will invest. Nobody from here or from our audience will not invest €1 or €1 if they have 99% certitude that they are going to lose it. No, we speak about gambling. It's false. So this is the biggest, let's say, not the problem, but the biggest challenge in educate ourselves to consume this R&D results. Because in the fact we are producing with these projects or many initiatives, we are producing a lot of products, let's say, in different stage of maturity. I don't know, from very early stage to more mature. But if the government don't want to speak with us, it's, I don't know, we are just playing a role in our life. But yeah, but also for research it's very disappointing. I spoke in this. So we are doing this kind of private-public projects. The first private-public project that Ropardo was involved with, it was in year 2000. So we were one of the 2 or 3 projects in that year that we invest our private money in a public project. We are a case study at that time. So in Romania, whoa. And no, but also now it's very difficult. Yeah. It was very difficult to approach this. But if this kind of approach are not widely, let's say, with a higher density to have different initiatives in this private public, if always the public sector will run, it's like crazy. Everybody run from private. Say, no, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, this is why you're entrepreneur.
It's very strange in entire Europe.
But this is the role of the entrepreneur. You have to invest if you want to. It doesn't matter if you.
The entrepreneur should invest in something that they multiply the capital.
Yeah.
Always. It's a very wrong approach to consider that somebody as an entrepreneur will invest to lose money or to do a breakthrough, I don't know in what domain. It's very, very wrong.
Thank you so much, Ciprian. Thank you for the question. Do you have another questions? No.
If I may.
Yes, if you may. Yeah, please do. You may. The mic, microphone.
Yeah, just to in a way underline what or confirm what Ciprian is saying. I think that there's a problem in terms of the political key stakeholders, in terms of the paradigm, because they still live in a paradigm where health, taking care of healthcare, it's an expense. And actually we're talking about sick care, not about healthcare. So there are two things: to move from the concept of sick care to healthcare, and then to move from an expense or cost to an investment. And if they manage to do this kind of paradigm switch, mental switch, then we have a chance as a society and as people. Otherwise, it's a continuous work and effort, and small entrepreneurs doing their things. But like you said, if you don't have this kind of support and understanding, that's the problem. And that's the problem also for the healthcare systems worldwide. They are crashing. There are some exceptions like Israel, because it's their culture to support risk innovation, to think about to understand the social impact and importance of taking care of the health of the population.
Yes, but I know in Israel, every professor, from every member of academia, professor or non-professor, associate professor, they have their own startups. So they are obliged, and they do
patents
innovation.
And
yes,
intellectual properties.
because this is encouraged. It's normal to be like that.
Yeah, and
this is what I intend to do. I
then
mean,
the
we do
states
this for a few
finance
years
it,
already.
like Daniel said. That's the difference.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, we have the very good examples in the world, but there are only few regions where this kind of approach are put it in practice. We have this concept of public-private partnership. Yeah? But you have the both. in large part, in Romania at all, and in large part of Europe, the public are running from private. And always the public are stating, no, we are supporting. Yeah, you are supporting with the PowerPoint. That's very nice, let's move ahead. No, it's not working like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, if we don't have any. Yes.
What can each of us, as professionals or citizens, do to promote healthy and active aging?
What you do, each of you, the panelists. So, what do you do? Living and doing what we love to.
Yes, I think we live, learn, and take care of others, and understand the importance of, like I said, of education. And there's a Romanian word that the people, the person holds the place. So it's actually in our hand to do the most we can do in the area which we can influence. The result beyond that is not only on our hands, but we can contribute to this kind of change.
I'm wondering if they were asking what we do or what they can do. Both. So, well, Mircea covered what we do, what they can do for a healthy living. Pretty much the same, I guess. Do what you want, but keep moving. Like, stay active. I think if I've understood anything from the research, and everyone asks me, oh, what can we do to slow down cognitive decline? Should we do puzzles? Should we do games? Don't. Move. Pay attention to what you eat and make sure to always exercise. That's, if I were to give just one advice, it's that. Everything else contributes significantly less than these two things.
Okay.
And sleep
And
well.
sleep.
Oh yes, and sleep well.
Okay. Okay.
Picking up from Andrea's first advice, keep moving. I would also say, fill the gap. As a clinician, I tried to fill the gaps in terms of medical education for every single patient I had, which meant I tried to find the time the patient needed to discuss with me. So I could answer the questions. Fill the gaps means be selective about your sources of information. Nowadays, as we've already seen, pretty much everyone thinks can play a doctor. Pretty much everybody tries to give healthcare and well-being advice. Try to stick with relevant information from a doctor, from a verified source. And this goes both ways, us healthcare professionals and as, let's say, general public, non-healthcare professionals. So fill these gaps. As a researcher, I try to fill the gaps in the information I lacked as a clinician. So that's why the idea of hospitals from home is very helpful. It helps me identify and try to fill the gap for all the clinicians about all the information we don't know about our patients, which will make us better doctor, hopefully, in case we end up there, better policymakers, and try to also recognize and address the issues in terms of public policies by reaching out to the relevant stakeholders and trying to push for a change.
Yeah, great. Very few to add. Already everything was almost spoken. So I will say only a few. I can say a lot of things, but only a few are important, I think. Basically, if you are not afraid of technology, investigate what kind of technology it is suiting for you. Try to use maybe smart scale, it's enough. But take care, do not become technology fatigue, as Razvan presented before. It is a reality. So use technologies that are suiting or fitting you. Follow different general advices, or go to the clinician for deeper, let's say, information. Yeah? Don't TikTok about your health. It's very bad. Avoid this kind of information channel. So go to the clinician. I personally, as an entrepreneur in this digital healthcare landscape, always we are promoting open source, open work in order to be or to provide better technologies in the future. This is something that is from my small contribution to the entire community. So,
great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And if I may, before addressing few words at the end, my strong principle is that we do not age in silence. We age according with every day of our life. So never forget that the brain is the key for a healthy and independent longevity. Never forget that brain, mental health is the key. Never forget about this, because this is the head, the most important organ in our temple, as we call the physical body. So I think this is very important, because we speak a lot about aging in place, longevity. I'm grateful for the presence of the panelists today. Thank you for you as speakers and participants for this insightful and inspiring discussion. Thank you very much, Mrs. President Flaviana Rotaru, the President of ROHEALTH, to organize BEHEALTH every year and to be part of it. What emerged clearly today is that aging in place and hospital from home is not just an innovative model. These are ethical commitments to human dignity, autonomy, and integrated care. Our task is to transform these visions into policy, practice, and partnership, as we discussed before, to ensure every person can age safely, meaningfully, and well in this comfort of home, supported by science and compassion. Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you very much to all of you. Ciprian Cândea, applause is for you. Athos Antoniadis, Mircea Dan Mărzan, Andreea Stamate, Răzvan Ioan Trașcu, Daniela Blecher. Thank you. And with my humble contribution, Luisa Spiru. Thank you very much. Now we have to make a photo. You stay there where you are on the screen. Daniela, don't leave.